Everyone, and welcome to Read with Me with Deborah Hanson. That's me. So today we're going to do is I'm going to do just basically chapter reviews. So I'm calling them chapter in a nutshell, basically. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I read the books word by word for read out loud. And that's still great to do. This does not replace reading the book, guys. Sorry, but it doesn't. Reading the book is much better because you're getting a lot more information. But this is kind of like that little quick summary that, oh my, I have a test and I need to know some information about this particular chapter, or I was supposed to take some notes and I forgot, and or I have a book club meet, and all those things, those little stresses that you just kind of wish you could just get a little bit of a, in a nutshell, kind of summary before you go to the test or to the book club. So this is what these are going to be. So I'm going to do them for every chapter. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that. If you do, please subscribe to my channel or hit like. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. My students get a real kick of seeing my numbers go up, so please help me do that. It's kind of fun to watch that happen. So here we go. So we're going to do Chains by Laurie Halse Anderson, chapter 1, and in a nutshell. Let's see what we have. And what I decided to do is put some slides together too. So, I can talk, but sometimes it's hard to listen and take notes. So basically I wrote it all out mostly for you guys so that you can, you can write down what you need, or you can take parts. I've also put some quotes in, and the page numbers that I've taken or I've put on the slides are from my book, and it's this one here. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it's the one that's on the front slide cover. So I think hang on, let me just go back here. It's this one. So if that's the one you have, then these pages are going to work. But to be fair, even if you have a different book, it's going to be very close to that page, so you can just find it in your own book. Okay, so first in this chapter, this is really cool because I love how it starts. It just starts off with the best time to talk to ghosts, and I don't know, I kind of love all that stuff. So I like that started like that. But we have Isabel and her younger sister Ruth, and they're on the way to the funeral of a woman named Mary Finch. She was their previous owner. Along with them is Pastor Weeks, the wagon driver Ben, and Mary's nephew and only living relative, Robert, who's not the nicest human in the planet. Sorry, but he really isn't. He didn't waste any time getting to Rhode Island when he heard his aunt was sick, because she had money and she had things and he wanted them, and he was her only living relative. So there you go. So he raced over there to do that. Didn't waste any time putting her on the ground either. Didn't even have a party for her, or to have the neighbors over like they normally do, according to Isabel. So that was kind of not great. Anyway, Mary Finch was Isabel and Ruth's owner, but that's all about to change, unfortunately. So let's see what else happens here. So Isabel, as they're approaching the cemetery, asks Pastor Weeks if she can just go to the nearby grave to see her mother, who died of smallpox a year before. Because, well, here's a quote: "The best time to talk to ghosts is just before the sun comes up." So that's why she wants to talk to her mom. She's got a lot of things happening right now, so she needs to talk to her mom, who's dead, but she's thinking that she can talk to her. She starts talking to the grave, saying that the day they've been waiting for has finally come, and asking her ghost to make a brief appearance just to give her some instructions on what she's going to do. Yet next, you can tell Isabel's scared, but she's also excited about her future. She feels a big sense of responsibility because she has to take care of her younger sister, Ruth. And anyway, in the end, unfortunately, she doesn't make contact with her mother, and she feels that it's her fault because she feels that she didn't bury her properly, and that her soul is now like wandering the earth, and she can't really find, her way back to Isabel. So again, she's kind of scared. She's frustrated. She's sad. She's confused. So there's lots going on in poor little Isabel's mind here. So then the funeral starts, and Mr. Robert, in his very nice, read sarcastic here, voice, screams to her to go pray for that owned you girl. So he's really starting to show his true colors just right in the first chapter. That's not great. This point, we worry about Isabel and Ruth's fate, because we know that now they are going to be left with this man, and this man is not the nicest one. So just a little review of the characters that have showed up in chapter 1 already. We have Isabel and Ruth, who we will follow through the story. Mr. Robert Finch, he is now Isabel and Ruth's owner. Pastor Weeks, and Old Ben, the wagon driver. So the setting of the first chapter is in the graveyard at the cemetery. And there's a historical reference in here to the white graveyard, demonstrating that the cemetery was actually still segregated by color. So she had to go visit her mother in another part of the cemetery because whites are buried in a certain part. So there's that a little bit of historical connection to that time period. Some figurative language that you're going to encounter in this chapter, similes. There's, you know what a simile is when we see a figure of speech that compares two different things and it's uses like or as, and it's just really to spark interest or connection in the reader's mind. So here's an example of a simile, just in case you need to find that. Mr. Robert's mouth was tightened like a rope pulled taut. That's on page 4. That is a simile. Also, lots of descriptive language, and you're going to find that Laurie Halse Anderson, she really does a lot of descriptive languages. That's what I love about reading her books. You know, she goes into so much detail and you can almost picture what she's talking about, and that's amazing. So I love this part on page 5 here. The mist swirled between the tall grasses and the low hanging branches. 2 black butterflies danced and disappeared through a cloud of bugs that disappeared. Again, you know, you can almost visualize what is happening at that moment. And there are many examples in this chapter and the book about descriptive language and imaginative language and symbolic language. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, that's chapter 1 in a nutshell. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, if you do, please hit like or subscribe because we are keeping track in my class. So there you go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.